did they ever go into place?
Some tariffs have been implemented, some have been delayed, and some deals have been
The answer is they did not.
Okay, but that's not the point. The point is at that exact moment first off, tariffs on every country are higher, or this is the first time ever that they've had to face them since. So here's the thing, even after, when we look at the results, and this is in a very short period of time, an additional $50 billion in collected revenue, CNN is still really, really mad because they predicted the disaster. Now, you'd think they'd be happy because this is good for you, the American. No, they just have to move the goalposts.
So in this clip, we're going to watch Steven Crowder lose his mind. Steven Crowder is going to lose Steven Crowder's mind over the type of things that they're saying on CNN. CNN definitely is known to give fake news. Obviously, those words were made famous by Donald Trump in his first term, so we already know what CNN is about. And actually, Scott Jennings is going to dismantle the panel on CNN. And Steven Crowder is going to debunk the lies of CNN. Abby Phillips, all of them, those... they're still, I hate to use the term woke, but they are still woke. Let's just keep it real. So without further ado, let's get to the clip.
I would just like to go back. I'd like to build a DeLorean and go back to April when everybody here was predicting likely to cause a recession. Investment stops and a recession happens. They're not talking about a U.S. recession. They're talking about a global recession.
What was happening in April,
lead to
Scott?
recession.
Watch her move the goalposts.
A reception.
Scott, hold on a second.
Very cleverly.
Yeah.
If he's chosen to...
I just want to point out.
Just a second,
You called the recession. You called it
calamity.
Calamity.
Scott, you can't skip steps here.
And there is none.
What were those tariff levels?
They were different. He had a chart.
Not just different. They were 2 to 3 times higher than the current tariff levels. Did those tariffs go into place, Scott?
It's different for every country.
Scott,
it's different for every country.
It's a simple question. Did those tariffs go
God,
into place?
help me.
He has delayed
Yes or no?
some of the tariffs.
Yes or no?
He has delayed some of the tariffs. He's implemented others.
Did any of the tariff levels that Trump announced on that week, did they ever go into place?
Some tariffs have been implemented, some have been delayed, and some deals have been
The answer is they did not.
Okay, but that's not the point. The point is at that exact moment first off, tariffs on every country are higher, or this is the first time ever that they've had to face them since President Trump has taken office, to be clear. And the tariffs that we're seeing on United States goods have been reduced to 0 in many cases. And just to be clear, she tries to move those goalposts, and she goes, "Are they that number?" We told you. Read the art of the deal. We know what this guy does. He's going to come in high and then settle at something which is significantly better than nothing. Now they move the goalposts and go, "Well, it's not the exact tariff that he first announced." He said they could negotiate a deal.
Absolutely.
So Steven Crowder is definitely making some good points here. Steven Crowder is going off about Abby Phillips moving the goalposts on CNN and Scott Jennings having to come and destroy Abby Phillips' whole narrative and whole point that Abby Phillips thought she was making. Phillip, not Phillips. Steven Crowder is, I swear these people were mascara. Steven Crowder is right. I'm not going to lie. I was a little concerned about the tariffs too, but we see that there hasn't been this huge recession that all these people were crying about was going to happen. I said I was concerned. I did not sound like places like CNN, obviously Rachel Maddow and these kind of people. You know how they get when, especially when Trump does something. So, it's a shame because you should be able to scrutinize an administration, but you should not, just hate everything the man does just because he's Donald Trump. It's just ridiculous.
And by the way, didn't we just call this? Yeah, I think we all saw this coming, right?
Predictions in April. That was March.
Hey,
By the way, I'm not, let me be clear. I'm not a financial expert. But neither are they. They tell you they are. I'm just someone who read his book. It was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You come in high, settle it reasonable. Like every negotiation.
Yes.
They can't be wrong, and their predictions, they're very hopeful predictions, by the way, are always bad for you, the American people. How does that happen?
If you guys like this clip, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on this video.
They should take some credit for convincing the entire world that that was going to be the final tariff number.
Right. So
now we're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, we should negotiate if we want to get a better rate. Yeah. Yes. Were you about to say something, Nick?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, I thought you were. I'm sorry.
I hate business talk.
Okay. Well, this isn't going to get that much more fun then. Sorry, Nick. So,
Buttercup. No, I'm kidding.
Here's the thing. he went crazy, President Trump, in a good way. You know, like crazy sale, like you see at your local car lot. Striking some last-minute deals. And some of the updates, because some of these have happened since we last spoke with you. South Korea, last night, President Trump announced that we finally have a trade deal with Seoul there in South Korea. So the deal is going to have 15% on Korean goods. That's significant. 0% on U.S. goods. So, by the way, think of it. That's not even reciprocal.
I know.
That's
right.
You guys pay a tariff, and we don't. Here's the other kicker. They also agreed to $350 billion in investments, future investments, to the United States, to be directed by President Trump himself. $350 billion, $100 billion in LNG purchases. Korea is going to be granted most favored nation status.
Nice.
They're finally going to be open to U.S. products, autos, beef. I'm sorry, I guess there's certain things like rice is not allowed, which makes sense, and maybe some autos, but some autos are allowed as far as I didn't fully understand it, and I guess...
So basically, Stephen Crowder is breaking down the fact that, you know, Trump is doing a lot of what he said, you know, whether it's a lot or not a lot, but he's trying to do some of the stuff that he said he was going to do, you know, and instead of just... Like I said, you could definitely, any administration, you can scrutinize whatever administration you want to scrutinize. You can have criticisms. You should have criticisms. You should question things. I mean, of course, but in a healthy way. CNN, as soon as Trump talks, they just start and say he's just going to do everything wrong and it's going to be doom and gloom. I used to fall for this all the time with CNN. And until like the very last year of his first term, when I was waiting for war with China, it never came. You know, so I was like, wait, what's going on? You know, and then of course with the George Floyd color revolution that took place in this country. So I just was able to see, like, these people, they really are fake news, and he has every right to call them that. I remember the kind of clips they would share where Trump was coming at the news, you know, people who were like, you know, asking him ridiculous questions, and he would have to shut them down, and then they would report it the next day. Oh my God, Donald Trump was mean to the reporters just because. Like, they make it seem like he just woke up and was just mean.
I don't know. Some agricultural products will somehow be an exception.
Rice and beef are off limits.
Rice and beef are off limits. Oh, okay.
What's their beef
Cars, they can get our cars.
Yeah.
I get all my steak from Korea.
Yes, exactly.
He's a big bulgogi guy.
He is.
I love bulgogi.
I do love bulgogi too. But think about
Great
that
third
for a
baseman.
second.
Is that a real word?
15%
Bill
to
Bulgogi.
0%, and then another $350 billion investment. Just to be clear, this only happens if they know they've been screwing you.
Yeah.
Right. This happens where they sit down with advisors and go, okay, what kind of leverage do we have here? And they go, well, you know what? You have this tariff on them, and okay, what do the United States have on us? Pretty much nothing. All right. So, what would be fair? They're like, well, you know, reciprocal would still actually not, because you still kind of owe quite a bit. So, yeah, he actually is very likely to implement this. I would strike a deal now so you get something fair, because you kind of been piping them. That's the conversation they had to go, oh, okay, and $350 billion more.
Yeah.
Well, that's racist.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
Nice.
But that's why the woman from the European Union, I like what she said. She's like, we have to balance. We've been hosing the United. She came right out and said it.
Yeah.
We've been hosing them, and this is fair now.
Yeah, no,
Right?
exactly right.
Yeah.
At least I think that's where she said, didn't you were very...
Well, yeah, at least she was honest, because, I mean, that is a lot of what happens. I mean, especially with these foreign deals. We don't even need to get started as far as, like, you know, what we do for other countries before we do for ourselves. So this was pretty interesting. This was a good clip. Definitely good to see, you know, Stephen Crowder breaking down the lies of CNN and, you know, bringing some good news that, hey, some of these tariffs negotiations, they're working. You know, it's time for decisions and deals to be made for the American people. So we hope that things continue to work out with that. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.